Hi everybody, welcome to Right to the Top. I'm Adam. In today's practicum, we're going to look at some do's and don'ts. Things you should do, things you shouldn't do. And today specifically, we're going to look at a don't. Don't overuse or misuse certain expressions. And I see this all the time. It's very common. I'm going to talk to you specifically today about due to and due to the fact that, okay? These are expressions that people use all the time. Almost every essay I see has at least one due to. And why? Because people, for some reason, think that because is too easy, is too casual. It's not a high-end vocab. Because is a good word. Use it. And I'll show you why you're making mistakes as well. So let's look at because of, and due to. These are not all synonyms. Because and due to, specifically, are not synonyms. And this is where a lot of people make mistakes. Because is an adverb conjunction. It means that it's going to be followed by a dependent clause. Okay? Due to is an adjective for the purists or a compound preposition for most people. It means it's followed by a noun or a gerund. And it modifies a noun. And it's basically it means caused by or a result of. Now, due to and because of can be synonyms, although because of is still an adverb. So now, in many cases, if you use due to instead of because of, it's fine. It's technically not correct, but it's so commonly used these days that it's accepted and the graders won't bother you, won't take any points off for it. If you're using due to instead of because, that's a bigger problem. And I'll give you a little bit more specific. Now remember, because of, prepositions are always going to be followed by a noun, not a clause. So let's look at some examples. The meeting was canceled because the chairman was ill and couldn't make it. So we're using because. We're using the adverb conjunction, and I'm following it by chairman was ill. So subject, verb. I have a full dependent clause following it. The meeting was canceled due to the chairman was ill. So this sentence, while correct, this sentence is definitely incorrect, and you will lose points for it because you don't understand that due to is not a conjunction. And I do see this quite often. Be very careful about it. The meeting was canceled due to, because of, as a result of the chairman's being ill. That's all fine because the chairman, notice I have the apostrophe and I have the gerund. So the chairman's being ill is fine. Now, technically, if you're doing the GMAT, for example, and you have the grammar section, on the GMAT, you can't use due to. And you can't use caused by. You would use because of. Because you're talking about the verb. The meeting was canceled. You're modifying a verb, you want to use an adverb, because of. If you're modifying a noun, you would want to use due to. Okay? But again, these days, both will be okay. The meeting was canceled due to the chairman's illness. So same idea. The chairman's illness, noun. Because of is correct, due to is acceptable. The meeting's cancellation was due to. Now, notice that although here was canceled due to, acceptable. The meeting's cancellation was because of the chairman's illness. Most people would not use this because I don't have any verb to modify. So technically, due to with noun, because of with verb, but with the verb you can use both because it's very commonly used. If you're not 100% sure, and if you want other alternatives, there's always other options. The chairman was ill, so the meeting was canceled. Flip it around. Find another way to say the same idea. There are always alternatives. You can use the preposition for to show a purpose of something, or to show a reason for something, the prepositions. Always other options. Make sure you use all of them. Now, due to the fact that. First of all, this expression you should rarely use. It's 5 words. Because is 1 word. So a lot of people use due to the fact that instead of because. It's fine. 5 words, 1 word. 1 word is better, but once in a while 5 is okay. If you use this expression twice in an essay, then the grader is thinking, okay, this person is just trying to fill up words. If you're using 10 words instead of 2, that's a problem. Once in a while, okay. Don't use it twice in one essay. Now, due to the fact that, make sure that you understand that is the conjunction, the beginning of a noun clause, okay? It begins a noun clause. Make sure that you have a noun clause following this expression, due to the fact that something happened, okay? Make sure you have a subject, verb, a full clause, because a lot of people, due to the fact that, sick, right? That doesn't work. The meeting was canceled due to the fact that chairman's sick. That chairman was sick would be okay. So again, don't forget the noun clause. The fact. Now here's a bit of a problem. Many people don't realize that what follows after this expression, due to the fact that, must actually be a fact. A lot of people forget that part. They don't realize that we're still talking about a fact. That. So make sure what follows is indeed a fact. And I'll give you an example. Use this expression now. When's the most common or what the best reason to use this expression? To emphasize the fact, not so much the reason for something else. So use to emphasize the fact. Something happened due to the fact that something else happened, right? So we're not thinking about this as a reason for the first part. We're thinking about the fact itself so that we can go on and talk about it. I hope this is a little bit clear. I'll give you an example. Okay, so we're going to look at some examples. In recent years, many companies have faced public backlash due to the fact that their ads feature excessively thin models. Now, technically the sentence is okay if you're going to continue talking about the excessively thin models. That's one. Secondly, I would be very careful about using the word fact here. They're featuring excessively thin models. So first of all, this is a bit of objective. To some people, they're not excessively thin. And secondly, they can actually change, and they may have other models as well. It's a little bit subjective. You're a little bit playing with the word fact, so you have to be a little bit careful about that. In many years, many companies have faced public backlash because of their ads feature. This is much more direct, much more clear. This is the better option, the second sentence. In recent years, many companies have faced public backlash for featuring excessively. So here's basically what I was talking about just before, the alternatives. Instead of putting about have faced and why, we're focusing on the backlash. Backlash is basically anger from the public. Backlash for. So we're focusing on the backlash, not a reason. Where's the focus of the backlash, which essentially tells you the reason for the backlash. So you always have options besides due to. Sales of mobile devices have soared in recent years due to the fact that internet connections are widely available and that consumers are increasingly mobile themselves. So this is a good use of due to the fact that. Why? That, first of all, you have the first fact. Internet connections are widely available. This is true. They are everywhere now. And consumers are increasingly mobile themselves. People are more and more mobile. They're moving to work, to travel, to whatever, and they're taking their computers with them. In this case, this is a good use of due to the fact that. My next sentence will either focus on the internet connections or the mobile consumers. It's not going to talk about sales anymore. I'm switching focus. That's why I'm using due to the fact that to emphasize the fact and then continue speaking about it. Or because the internet is widely available and they're increasingly mobile. Use because, don't be afraid of this word because. It's a good word, use it. Or find alternatives, use due to and due to the fact sparingly, okay? And this will save you points, okay? And that's it for today. If you have any questions about this, please go to the YouTube comment section and ask me there. If you like the video, please give me a like. Please subscribe to my channel and come back next week for another short clip on a particular topic for you to use in your writing. See you then. Bye-bye.